There was a young woman traveling through a jungle, and all of a sudden a tiger jumps out and starts to chase her. And so she runs and runs and runs as fast as she can. And the tiger's gaining on her, and all of a sudden she comes to the edge of a cliff. If she jumps, she'll fall to her death. If she stays there, the tiger will come and eat her. What is going to happen? Stay tuned for next week, for the next... Really, do you really care what happens to her? Probably not, because I just started this story. You don't know her name, you don't even know why she's in the jungle, you don't know anything about her. You know, it's more of a curiosity question to you. What happens to her? Whereas I think about in yesteryear, when we actually watched TV, you had cliffhangers. Who knows about who shot JR? Okay, you know that one. I remember that when it was in syndication in Turkey, it was so popular that they suspended their parliament for 1 hour so everybody could go and watch that episode of Who Shot Him. For those of you who are a little older, we have the Marvel series, where Avengers Endgame was the culmination of about 20 movies, all on the Marvel characters. And for those of you who aren't in entertainment, I remember, I always knew growing up when the Notre Dame football team was playing, because my dad was always watching it. And all these were things because we cared. We got invested in Who Shot JR. We got invested to the Marvel's characters. We got invested into our sports team. We care. And so it doesn't matter when it happened. Doesn't matter how long it would take. We're watchful. We're alert. That's what Jesus is calling us to do, to be watchful and alert for his coming. Whether in the morning, noon, night, midnight, 1 o'clock, whatever it is, to be watchful and alert. And at the end, he says, watch. And yet, the only way we can watch is if we're invested. I mean, think about it. Some of you who are younger might not care and even know who shot JR. Others of you might not care about the Marvels. Now, others of you might not care about Notre Dame, and that's a sin. But if you don't care, then you'll miss out. You'll miss out on the sports, you'll miss out on the movies, you'll miss out on everything because you don't care. You're not invested. This season of Advent is a time for us to remember why we care about the coming of our Savior. And if we recognize and care about that, then we're invested on this journey. Then we won't be caught off guard. In the first reading, Isaiah, they're saying that he's complaining, they're saying, there is none who calls upon your name, who rouses himself to cling to you. Meaning that Exodus is long past. Remember when God saved you from Egyptian slavery? Remember all the times he saved you in the desert? Remember all that? That's past history. That's an old TV show. And they forget to rouse themselves to see what God is doing in their midst, when he will eventually bring them back to the promised land. We can do the same as we are here saying, okay, we have basically 3 more weeks before Christmas. Oh my gosh, there's a lot to do. I have to write letters, I have to plan a Christmas dinner, I have to get gifts, I have to put up Christmas decorations, and you can fill yourselves with all these things that you really don't care about, and then miss out on the true reason for the season. The true reason for the season is when we actually say to ourselves, Jesus Christ came into the world to save me. Jesus Christ came into the world to reveal himself to me. And when I take ownership of that, and when I recognize that, then indeed I'll be watchful and alert. I'll be watchful because I recognize in the Christmas story my own story. And so as we journey in this Advent season, may we become more invested in the Christmas story, because it is truly our story as well.